Hey everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. In today's video, we have an exciting tutorial on how to create a brightness range slider using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So let's get started. Here we have a div element with the ID container and a class container. Next, we have a div element with a class brightness box. Now we'll add a link which is from the Font Awesome library. Here we'll use the Font Awesome icon represented by the eye element. Here the first icon is sun to indicate the minimum brightness. Next we have an input element of type range which creates a slider. Here the minimum attribute sets the minimum value of the slider to 10 and the maximum attribute sets the maximum value to 100. Next we use the second icon that represents the maximum brightness. Now let's add CSS. Here we have a universal selector. We set the margin and the padding to 0 so that it removes all the default margin and the padding from element. We set the box sizing to border box. Now let's style the container element. Here we set the background. The image URL is provided and it will be displayed at the center of the container. Next we'll use the background size to cover so that it covers the entire container area. Next we set the mean height to 100 VH. Display is set to flex. Align items and justify content is set to center. Now let's style the brightness box. Here the width is set to 400 pixels, height is set to 60 pixels, background is set to light grey color, border radius is set to 8 pixels, padding is set to 0 and 20 pixels, display is set to flex, align items and justify content. Align item is set to center and the justified content is set to space between. So the position of the flex item with equal space between them horizontally. Now let's style the eye icon. Here we set the margin to 0 and 10 pixels. Next we have an ID, that is range. Here we set the width to 100%, height is set to 3 pixels, WebKit appearance is set to none so that it removes the default appearance of the range slider. Background is set to blue color and the outline is set to none so that it removes the default focus outline when the range slider is active. Now let's target the thumb of the range slider. Here we set the WebKit appearance to none so that it removes the default appearance of the slider thumb. Background is set to dark grey color. Width is set to 22 pixels. Height is set to 22 pixels. Border radius is set to 50%. So this creates a circular border radius and the cursor is set to pointer. Now let's set JavaScript. Here we declare a variable and assign it to the document. Next we use add event listener to the range input element. Here the event being listened to an input which triggers whenever the user interacts to the range slider by moving the slider thumb. Next we use function change brightness. It is called whenever the input event is triggered on the range element. Next we have a container element. Here the filter property is used to apply visual effect to an element. Here the brightness is set as a percentage based on the current value on the range slider. Here the eTarget value sets the current value of the range slider and the brightness value to set accordingly. So thank you for watching this tutorial on creating a brightness range slider. I hope you found it informative and useful for the web projects. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting web development tutorials.